Hello everybody, welcome to another video of a monthly recap, what I watched in the month of August. So this list is going to be very long. I will explain why it's long, and I'm just going to go through these movies real quick because I really don't feel like editing. I'm very lazy to edit. So let me just tell you about some movies that I watched this month and tell you how good they are so you could maybe give them a try. So first movie I watched in the month of August was Moana. Moana is a pretty fine movie, pretty decent animation. It has good water animation that I really love a lot in this movie. The characters are alright. There really isn't a villain in the story other than the big evil creature at the end of the movie. But it's just a pretty simple villain with no twist or anything. There's also this crab who I forgot his name. There was also these coconut characters, and they're pretty neat. The characters in here are fine, they're great. Moana's it's a fine movie. Nothing bad or anything to say about it. Feels like a really good movie to watch randomly. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. Next, I watched Bodies. So what this movie is about some teenagers who go to who stay at this rich guy's house and during a storm, and they all get attacked one by one. So the movie feels like a basic home invasion slasher until in the end it's revealed what it actually is. The reveal in the end is very hilarious. It was a really hilarious reveal. I'm not gonna explain what it is, but you should watch this movie. The characters in here are pretty much not likable. Like, you're not rooting for anybody, and they're all pretty annoying completely. They have like this teenage drama mood kind of stuff, but it's a solid movie. I don't hate it or love it, but it's solid. It's getting an 8.5 out of 10. Then I'm just gonna say something quick about these movies. Okay, here we go. Saw is a very solid movie. It has a good twist. The whole story is good. It's still amazing. The acting is pretty hilarious. But I think it was a really good, decent acting. I don't know how this is called torture porn. It really does feel like a torture porn movie. Probably that one scene of cutting his leg, I guess, was torture porn. But it's a pretty fine movie. I really enjoyed Saw. It's getting an 8 out of 10. Saw 2 I think is better than Saw the first movie. I like the story in here. It has a different twist. It is an amazing twist that's better than the first one. There's traps in this, and they were the most extreme traps ever. Like, a guy has to take his eyeball out in order to get a key. Amanda has to fall in this needle pit, which looks very extreme to watch. This guy gets burned alive. This guy cuts the skin back of his neck and puts it in his pocket. Saw 2 an 8.5 out of 10. Saw 3 I think is probably the very best movie of the Saw franchise. I feel like this shouldn't have been the ending to the Saw movies. The traps in here are pretty much more extreme. The rack part is where it turns your bones all around, including your head. It was hard to watch. That one trap where this lawyer is trapped in and he's about to get covered in pig's blood. It's a really gross trap, and it looks and feels very, very sad to be in. But yeah, solid movie, solid Saw movie. I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. Saw 4 feels very pointless, and a lot of the traps in here are pretty good, I should say. The one where this lady gets her scalp ripped off is probably my favorite. Nothing good, nothing bad about this Saw movie, other than it feels like unnecessary. I think you should check this one out, but it does have a twist that will extend the Saw franchise. But whatever, I'm giving it a 6.5 out of 10. Then I watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. I already made a review about this on a video. You should go watch it. So the movie is pretty amazing. I think it's my most favorite animated movie of this year. The animation is very, very amazing, and it was very fun to watch. But yeah, I wasn't expecting like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie that a lot. I have nothing wrong with it. Everything looks great. The characters are great. Again, good voice acting. Giving it a 10 out of 10. Then I watched Talk to Me, which is probably a good movie too. This movie does something that's different from other horror movies, and that is like not relying on too much gore, not relying on people dying or jump scares or anything scary in general. Like, it is well made, it is scary, every shot is scary, and the directing in here is amazing. The acting in here is very good. The scary visuals are so great. It is unsettling and creepy. I'm giving it a 8.5 out of 10. Saw 5 is very dumb. The traps in here are very, very dumb. You don't win, you just lose. That's the whole point of these games. There's no twist in here. Same thing from the fourth movie. The traps in here are pretty dumb because you're supposed to survive them, even though they all look like you couldn't survive them, so I don't know what's the point of that. There's nothing good about the Saw movie. I think it is probably the worst Saw movies ever. Giving it a 4 out of 10. Next, I watched The Lion King from 1994. I have nothing else to say about this. It's a 10 out of 10. Beautiful, amazing animation, good character arc, good villain, great voice acting, everything. It was very emotional. Next, I watched Black Panther. I actually liked this movie when it came out. I called it the best, but rewatching it, I don't think it's the best anymore. The movie feels very, very outdated with its jokes and everything. I mean, it came out in 2018. The fights in here are so bad. They're all very CGI. The fight in the end is very, very CGI, and I can't stand it. I couldn't stand it. The villain in here is not really good. He's a very pointless villain. But yeah, everything in this movie is just pretty dumb. I don't like this movie anymore. So yeah, really nothing good to say about it, although it was a pretty negative movie that I really don't enjoy anymore. I mean, okay, it's a solid superhero, basic standard superhero movie, whatever. 4.5 out of 10, or maybe a 4 or 3 out of 10. Then I watched Perfect Blue. Perfect Blue is a horror animation. Perfect Blue is about this pop star that transitions into an actress, and one of her obsessive fans refuses to let her transition into an actress. Pretty scary, unsettling movie. The ending part is really scary. Honestly, I'm not gonna tell you because I'm trying to avoid spoilers, but you should definitely go watch it. It's on Shudder. it displays a message of how creepy a stalker a fan could be. I'm giving Perfect Blue a 10 out of 10. Next movie I watched is Home Movie. Home Movie is a found footage movie, which I love found footage. It's about these two parents who like try to find out what's wrong with their kids. And I think I like this movie. You don't know what this movie is, you've never heard of it. I recently discovered it. But in the first part of the movie, the family acts very weird. Mostly the kids look like they just want to kill these parents. Then towards the ending, everything just turns serious. But as this movie starts out weird, it does start to get unsettling towards after we pass the beginning of this movie. So the kids in here are very creepy. There's a scene where this girl crushes a frog in like this crusher device. There's a scene where these kids almost kill a kid like in a house barn. There's even like this shot of that almost made me that unsettled me really hard. It was like a 4-second or 5-second close-up shot of a headless dog in a stick, and I was pretty sensitive. I was really disturbed by that. But it's a horror movie. The very last part of this movie feels like it tries to be scary, but it actually isn't. It's like the worst attempt at being scary. But overall, the whole entire movie is very decent. You might enjoy it. I mean, I would honestly recommend you to watch this movie. You should watch it. It's on Shudder. Go get Shudder to watch it. Giving Home Movie an 8 out of 10. Then I watched Saw 6, and probably my favorite Saw movie in the entire franchise. Saw 6 is probably a good Saw movie of all the other Saw movies. The traps are more about like insurance-based kind of traps. If you watch these Saw movies, there will be like some kind of social commentary involving the traps. My most favorite trap is carousel ride trap. This is probably the most violent Saw movie ever. Giving it a 7 out of 10. Saw the final chapter. Probably not my favorite Saw movie ever. The blood in here is pink. The traps in here are pretty heavy. Probably the most unsettling trap I've ever had to watch was the one where he had to get the key out of her throat, but the key is like hooked onto like a fishing hook, and he has to pull that out right out of her throat in order to set her free. It was a pretty unsettling thing to watch, and I really don't want to watch it again. So was the brazen bull trap. Oh yeah, this movie does have a plot twist at the end. I'm not gonna tell you, but you should watch this. Try watching all the Saw movies. I'm making a ranking on the Saw movies. I don't know if you're interested in that. But yeah, these Saw movies are a headache. Saw the final chapter, I'm giving it a 5 out of 10. Spiral from the Book of Saw, which is probably the very, very hated Saw movie ever, and it's probably my very least favorite Saw movie ever. I really don't like this movie at all. The main character is always like yelling. I don't know if Chris Rock was trying to sell the performance in this movie. This definitely feels like an Oscar bait, but in the worst way. The traps in here are okay, they're decent. There's a twist in this, but it's very different. This movie isn't even in the Saw universe, it's definitely its own universe in the Saw universe. So it's definitely gonna have like a different villain twist from the other characters in the other Saw movies. I mean, I don't think you get it, but whatever. I'm giving it a 4 out of 10. That's just about it. Next I watch is Feel a Day. Feel-A-Day. It's Feel-A-Day. Feel-A-Day is about a cat and his owner moving to a neighborhood, and later on, the cat starts to witness a lot of cat brutalization and violence. So I was interested in this movie because the YouTuber Saber Spark was talking about it in this video. So I looked up the movie and it was free on YouTube, the whole full movie. So the animation looks pretty good. It looks decent. So is the voice acting. There's a lot of violent scenes in here with dead cats. There's a cat ripping, the main character cat ripping a cat's stomach open. There's a part where he watches a tape of watching scientists open cats up and experimenting on them. Pretty much like a VHS 94 kind of thing. And there's a scene where these cats step up onto to do a sacrifice. They electrocute themselves and they do a sacrifice. Pretty kind of violent scene to watch. There's a lot of dead cats in here. Dead cats with their throats ripped open and their fetus baby cats out along with their guts. A blind cat and her head ripped off. It was a pretty heavy thing to watch, but it is a pretty decent film. So I'm giving Feel-A-Day a 8 out of 10. Next I watch is Ready or Not. This movie is about a woman who's about to get married to this rich, wealthy family, and in the wedding night they had to kill her and do a sacrifice for the devil, and if they don't, they might die by dawn. Nothing bad to say about this movie. The characters in here are pretty dumb and annoying. The rich family. Samara Weaving is a pretty good actress in here. She's always screaming. I feel bad for her throat. I don't know if it hurts or she ran out of her voice. But yeah, she's always screaming. I love the house. The house is pretty big. It looks very decent, elegant. I love it. Giving it a 7 out of 10. Alright, finally the last movie I watched is Jojo Rabbit. Never watched this before, but I decided to watch it. So Jojo Rabbit is about a kid who goes to his concentration camp. He goes home and gets along with this little Jewish kid that's trapped in the walls. In this movie, he always sees Adolf Hitler as his kind of motivation character, telling him that he's a kid, he's not actually a Nazi portrayer kind of kid. The mother and the kid in here are good bond. They're both pretty good, decent acting. And overall, this whole movie isn't really nothing interesting about it. I mean, it takes place during a war. That's really about it. There's a lot of anti-Semitism in this movie, which, I really don't care about. Well, nothing interesting other than the kid and his mom. They're both really good characters. They both are a good bond. But yeah, this whole movie is probably a message for fuck Nazis, fuck Adolf Hitler, which is a thing in the end. So yeah, nothing else to say about this movie. It's decent. It's okay. It's not good. It's not bad, but it is okay. I'm giving it a 6 out of 10, which... Alright, that's about it for this monthly recap. That took forever. It's gonna take long for me to edit, but I'm not gonna enjoy editing this video. I really try to make it short, but with everything that I had to say, sorry for this video being way too long and taking long to come out. yeah, I'm not gonna have a good time editing this. So that's about it for what I watched in the month of August. If you enjoyed this video, thanks for watching. Hit the thumbs up and subscribe. Hit the bell, whatever you know what to do. It's optional, it's up to you. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll finally go get some sleep, and I'll talk to you next time. Goodbye.